The story continues when Sajri recalls a time when she witnessed her father conduct a specific capital punishment so well that the culprit didn't realize what had happened. They finished the story they were telling the Lord before leaving the world. It was a perfect blow which was painless and devoid of emotion. From that day forward, Sajri made it her goal to duplicate that stroke her father made. When she became of age to carry out her punishments, she performed well, but she had this lingering fear and disturbing visions of the people she ended who kept haunting her. Senior Eisen noticed and pointed out that she has doubt and fear in her blade. She looks at its reflection and she feels like she is being overwhelmed by it. Presently, she places a cloth over Gabimaru's face. After they arrive at the capital, the criminals are gathered at a beachfront. They are formally welcomed and then informed that they are sitting before the ruler. Under normal circumstances, they would never have the opportunity to have an audience with him, which is why their faces are covered. Hearing this gets the criminals irate as they heckle back, stating that they don't see the ruler as anyone special. One of the officials begins to get worried if it's safe to have such a crazy bunch gathered together like this. While they continue their noise, Sajri looks through the bios of some of these offenders, and their crimes are so dastardly that it's beyond reason. Her thoughts are interrupted when Gabimaru complains that he can hardly breathe and also expresses his wish to see the ruler in person. One of the officials reads out their secret orders to travel to Shinsenkyo and retrieve the immortality-granting elixir of life. They show the official pardon that the one who completes the mission will receive. This causes the atmosphere to change when they hear that their freedom can be won. One of the criminals laughs hysterically because he wants the pardon so that he can get right back to committing his evil acts. It is clear that this is a guy who has a hint of stupidity mixed with a lot of crazy. Gabimaru yawns and behaves unbothered about everything. He is called by fellow prisoner Yuzuriha, who acknowledges his fame in the shinobi community. However, she is disappointed after meeting the real article. She comments that he is smaller, wretched-looking, and tinier than the rumors say. To add icing on the cake of disappointment, the legend has been apprehended. Gabimaru apologizes for not meeting her expectations. Sajri watches their interaction and wonders if Gabimaru is just like the other criminals or worse. She uses her blade to pry further and is disturbed by what she sees. A description of the island they will be going to is proclaimed for all to hear. They start to get rowdy again, thinking that the details are all a fairy tale. They are all ordered to remove their masks as a cart is pushed to the front. The covering cloth is removed to reveal a man sitting there with flowers sprouting from his body. The convicts murmur among themselves as it is explained that the man before them is the only sergeant who returned alive from a very recent expedition. He is no longer human, and 60 other members of the expedition are still missing. After seeing the supernatural, the convicts start to have second thoughts since no one told them that the island would be so dangerous. One of the officials states that they shouldn't have a problem because blossoming into flowers would be a mystical blessing. He even goes as far as to say that it would be wasted on them. This gets the group mad, feeling like they are being mocked. Some even express their reluctance to go now. The official shouts for them to be silent as he gives an emotional speech about how disrespectful they all are. They are convicts sentenced to death, and the ruler has allowed them to travel to paradise. Kyan can sense the cap and points out that they don't know anything about the island. He asks what if the elixir's not there, and everyone supports his question. The official tells them that anyone can drop out if they are not happy with what's been offered since participation is voluntary. Someone takes them up on their offer and gets up to leave, but before he takes 10 steps, Eisen is on him and ends things with a swift strike. The incident reminds the official to add that when the offenders arrive on the island, they will be assigned monitors since their death sentences still apply on the island. If they act out, they will be ended on the spot. The executioners draw their swords to emphasize the point. The Yamada clan will accompany them as their monitors. He warns them not to get any funny ideas or else they will end up like the guy laying on the floor. Also, if their assigned monitor dies under any circumstance, the criminals too will have to climb the same stairs to the hereafter. Gabimaru is still calm after hearing everything, so Sajri wonders if he's brave or if it's just that he doesn't comprehend the situation. The ruler calls the official and whispers something in his ear. After hearing him out, he announces that before they go to the island, their numbers need to be reduced because the ship's capacity and the number of monitors is limited. Everyone looks at each other confused, but Aza already figures out what they are insinuating and is already doing the number reduction by choking out one of the prisoners. His point is proven when the official doesn't do anything after witnessing what he just did. Aza takes out another guy while alerting everyone to look sharp before they end up dead. The official confirms his conclusion, stating that anyone who dies in this process would have been useless anyway. He also adds that their hands will not be untied. The criminals immediately start ending each other since they are already used to violence. All the while, the ruler watches in excitement at the mayhem he just caused. The official, on the other hand, thinks he's stupid and doesn't see the point in all of this. The ruler is interested to know which ones have red seals. These are criminals with exceptional skills. One might even describe their abilities as superpowers. They are all shown, as they easily take out their opponents. Gabimaru the Hollow is the most notable as he is a living legend. He is pointed out to the ruler, and they are all surprised that he hasn't moved from his spot yet. No one is also daring to attack. Aizen notices that Sajiri is a little overwhelmed by the extreme violence. He comments that it will be even more brutal when they get on the island, so he wonders if she will be able to kill when faced with unknown dangers. He takes the opportunity to voice his opinion that she is not suited for the job. His words causes her to jolt a little. The senior believes although her father was a warrior, she should be living a quiet life in a mansion. His comments makes her clutch her sword out of frustration. She takes a deep breath and politely informs Aizen that she can do what is needed when required. She recalls her younger days when she was bullied because her family made their money from death. But the first day she picked up a blade, she saw the reality of their work and still wanted to be involved, so her conviction is resolute. This is tested a little when some of the criminals see Sajiri as a weak target, so they rush her to take her weapon. Aizen steps to deal with them, but Sajiri stops him and engages them instead by ending them swiftly. She begins to feel the burden of taking the lives again as she's almost overtaken by it. Gabimaru makes a comment that killing people is never okay. This dispels her demons immediately. Everyone stops and listens as he suggests that they figure out a non-violent way to choose. The officials stand on guard as they don't understand when he closes the distance to the ruler. He points out that although they all might be slayers, not all of them do so because they want to. Gabimaru refuses to let them use them like this. The official takes it as disrespect towards the ruler. The shinobi drops another golden nugget stating that it's only natural not to end people if it is not necessary. They give another warning for him to watch his tongue. Gabimaru sighs, believing that they are not listening to his words. The officials point to a random criminal and offer him a spot on the expedition if he ends the shinobi, which surprises him. The one contracted to attack picks up a rock as Gabimaru tries to reason with them, but the guy ignores his pleas and throws the rock at him, but he dodges. He gives them one more chance as he calls to their logic, but they state that if he is not going to fight, he should just keep quiet and let them take his life. Gabimaru sighs, once more disappointed that they have chosen death. He bluntly alerts them that he will end them if they try to do that to him. As he walks towards the fools, he has a change in demeanor. The shinobi comments on how he's about to burden himself with their deaths. Sajiri takes note of this statement as he pauses for a moment before he begins to maul through all his attackers. Everyone watches on in disbelief as he finishes the last guy right at the water's edge. The ruler drops his fan, terrified at what he has just witnessed. They call him a monster as he flicks their red residue from his hair. Sajiri tilts her blade towards him and sees all the souls he has taken holding onto him, but he still stands strong. Aizen calls his methods brutal. As he walks back, Gabimaru sarcastically asks that would he approve if he made it pretty instead. This comment makes Sajiri to have an epiphany that maybe it is not about her gaining strength or killing her fears, but it is about being able to gain the resolve to take the burden and fear of the lives she took. Coming to this realization causes her to cry, which she quickly wipes. All the while, the shinobi washes the rest of the mess from his face and body. The officials stop the criminals from fighting and announce that the remaining people will be joining the expedition. Not surprisingly, all the people left are the ones with red seals. The 10 will be accompanied by their monitors from the Yamada clan. The following day, they set off to the uncharted island. Gabimaru watches as Shinsenkyo comes into view through the fog. That brings the episode to an end.